Brawlers, baby.
You're watching the Brawlers Sports Boxing Show podcast, starring CEO Rick Mohamed. The Brawlers Sports Boxing Show podcast. Let's go, Jack.
There we go.
All right.
Yo. Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Bo here, and I'm back, right? Go to 3kingsboxing.com. Joining me is our affiliate. You know what I'm saying? He's from Chicago, so he is a cool dude. My man, Ricardo Mohamed. What's going on, family?
What's up, baby? Let's go, champ.
That's right. And y'all see that face right there? That is the kingpin man himself, Mr. Courtney Pennington. What's going on, man?
You already know what's happening, Bo.
All right, man. Hey, definitely appreciate you joining us. All right. So, hey, we gonna kick it off, man, right away, man. We ain't gonna waste no time with it. So, the sport of boxing, man. Everybody always knows the big names, like, you know what I'm saying? They always knows the guys that come out of the Olympics, great amateur career, and come up. What people don't know is the trials and tribulations of fighters that don't necessarily get that right away big bag or that right away big promotion. You know, they got to fight their way up. Right. That's what it seems like your career has been, Courtney.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started boxing late. I mean, I walked into the gym at 23.
Okay.
Right. So I started hella late, and I didn't have a long amateur career because of it. I got straight to it, but you know, I was 25 fights, and boom, let's go pro. You know, being that I started late, I also took it real serious. So that's a pro of it. But yeah, not having the amateur backing, you're not gonna have that big push from promoters and big time managers out the gate, you know. So that was my uphill battle.
Now, you from New York. Right. A lot of Brooklyn. Big fighters. That's right. Brooklyn baby. Yeah. A lot of big fighters come out of New York, man. Yeah. What is it? Because you said you started late, right? What was it about the sport when you walked into the gym and started that grabbed you and made you be like, yo, I can make a career out of this?
Oh man, like the grittiness of I love a challenge. And I loved what it brought out of you. You know what I'm saying? As I started getting into it, like first, you know, of course, when you start sparring, you everybody get that question that they ask themselves, "Look, is this what I really want to do?" You know what I'm saying? But after you get through that stage and you get better and better and better, you get past your first amateur fight, you realize you gotta keep running, you gotta do sprints, you gotta train harder than anybody else. You know, you find yourself up to the task, you know, and I think that's a culture from embedded in Brooklyn blood, really.
Okay, man. So you fought at super you fought at super welterweight, which is junior middleweight.
Right.
The last fight was at 147 pounds, man.
Right.
How did that feel for you coming down like that?
You know, we were concerned about that at first, but I said, yeah, let's try it. You know what I'm saying? It really, honestly, it was much easier than I thought. It was much easier than I thought because it's all about water weight. You know, it's a whole, you know, cutting weight is a whole science in itself. So of course I did my research, and you know, you start early, and then you know the week of the fight, you know, you do your cutting, and you lose the water weight and rebuild your strength, you know, after the weigh-in. So it was fairly easy. Well, you know, easier than I thought. And I think with welterweight, we're here to stay for a while.
All right, that's what's up. Hey, Rick, you got some questions for your boy?
Yeah, I mean, dropping the weight and everything, because I'm sure you walk around at like what, 165, 170, sometimes maybe a little.
Yeah, 170. Yeah.
So when you drop that extra weight, cutting it wasn't a problem. How did you feel power wise? Did you feel stronger? I know you felt quicker on your feet because you have speed anyway. Where was your power at dropping that weight? Or do you feel like you really lose any? Or did you gain some? Because speed is power.
Right. Well, I mean, first and foremost, about speed and technique. That's your power right there. You know what I'm saying? As far as, but like like you don't want you want to start losing the weight a little early, right? And not having to cut like 30 pounds or something like that the week of.
All at
That's
once.
that's what I'm saying, that like weakens people's legs, right? Because
Mhm.
that's where the weakness comes in your legs. When you're doing those 8 to 12 round fights. You may not feel in the first couple rounds, but if you cut a lot of weight, you start to get weak. Halfway in the fight.
Yeah,
So it was I felt strong as ever. Felt
yeah,
strong as ever. And as the more as my fighting career goes on, the more in shape I am. Running has become a culture with me. So like my legs are strong. I feel in tip top shape.
that's all I want to hear. Let's go, champ. I
All
like.
Yeah.
right. So, all right, man, you saying tip top shape. Now
Hmm.
understand, man, Rick, former fighter, myself, former amateur fighter, right?
Okay.
There's a difference between shape and boxing shape.
Right. Right.
Which
Right.
one are you in? Because you say tip top shape. I need to know which one you in.
I'm
Now.
a
You say
I'm a
boxing shape.
15 round fighter. Goddamn.
Okay,
I'm a
that
15 round fighter.
15 round champ.
15
All
round.
right.
That's my man. That's old school right
All
there.
right. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So, hey, man. So let's talk about your career. A couple of your fights. I got a chance to watch when you fought Patrick Day.
Okay.
Um, Most of the time in boxing, the scorecard really don't tell you how good of a fight is,
Hmm.
right? Although it went against you, you did some really good things in that fight. Like you did some things that I expect guys to have a lot of years did. Man, you was switching, you was giving him different looks. You made Pat Day very hesitant. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Pat Day. You made him
Yeah. Rest
very
in
hesitant.
peace.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You made him very hesitant. Um, when you go to these fights and hey, I'm not the favorite. How do
Hmm.
you still frame your mind to go in there and fight? Because you could put on a good fight and still not get that decision, man. So what makes you still push knowing, hey, this might not go my way, but you know what? I'm still finna get in here.
Oh well. In any situation, boxing, business, whatever, you gotta know what side you on. Okay. That's a part of understanding the game. Everybody knows that there's politics in boxing. A lot of people don't understand the politics, but being a business person myself, I mean, I understand the politics of boxing. So, um, you know, even though like that was my boxing promotion, so it was gonna be a fair fight. But he was from out there in in Long Island. He was the fan favorite and stuff like that. But I'm the upset king, the road warrior. Like I don't mind going to people's other territories and doing what I got to do, and I know that I have to put on a show and like totally dismantle the opponent because once again, like the car, I'm the B side. You know,
Right.
once you understand the side you on, you know what you got to do. You just got to perform.
Hey man, hey, that's real talk. Now you said that boxing is boxing is the business side of the sport itself is pure. It's the business side of the sport, right?
Right.
You had first taste of that. You had
Hmm.
first taste of that, man. What was that like for you dealing with that experience? And how did that make you stronger?
I mean, well, what don't kill you make you stronger, brother. And you really got to learn from these instances, okay? Because if you don't learn, it's gonna happen to you over and over again, and then you're just gonna quit the sport.
Mhm.
But make it, turn it over in your favor by training harder, coming harder, and doing, like I said, doing what you got to do.
Yes,
So
sir.
power. Yeah.
You
What'd
know.
you say, Rick?
You gotta you gotta take a bad situation. You going into somebody else's backyard. He's used to that. So you take that as a positive because he's got everything to prove now. He gonna go in there and show up and show out on you
Right.
in your territory. And that's
Right.
how he's won so many and beat so many B side, A side fighters as a B side fighter coming into the ring and you provide that upset. And
Right.
that's how you
Like
turn the tables.
Like I'll even take it a step further, man. If you look like say upcoming fighters, okay. Now you do your research on them. Look at their box rec. You'll see they fought somebody 3-3-27. Okay,
Hmm.
5 wins. 15 losses. They don't. Yeah, they're building their career, but they're not doing themselves no favors by fighting by not fighting somebody, because when they actually fight somebody, they're not prepared, and you see that. You know, shout out to Kyrie Gray, but he was a perfect example of that. You know, he was 14-1 when I fought him. The fight was presented to me. I said yes immediately. Looked at him like, oh, okay, he ain't fighting nobody. He don't know what he in for, you know. So we look at the cards we dealt, and like, we handle it, man. We handle it.
I'm glad you went there, because this is what I was finna say. You say you a road warrior. You also a weight warrior, because when you fought a guy by the name of Boyd Melson, you fought him at 160 pounds.
Okay, so
then you went down for Kyrie.
Well, I tell you what, because that's a story in itself. So shout out to Boyd Melson. He's a great dude. Great dude, number one. I mean, anybody that knows Boyd, knows he's a great dude, man. Shout out to Boyd Melson. It was a pleasure meeting you, my brother. But so with Boyd, that fight was this was supposed to be his last fight. So it was 154 plus like 2 or 3 pounds, or 2 pounds, plus 2 pounds. So as we got closer to the fight, like, he asked for another 2 pounds, right? Then he asked for 160. Then we got to the weigh-in, and he was overweight. So I was like, I wasn't about to go there and not fight. Once again, this is another one of those situations. Now, Boyd did fight a couple people. He did fight some people, but I know what I'm capable of. So I wasn't gonna let a few pounds make us not take this fight. So I'm saying, nah, fuck it, lose some weight. I would have said, let's do it anyway, but he lost the weight, and that probably took some steam out of his legs as well. So it worked in my favor. Yeah. And we went at it anyway. But the contracted weight wasn't 161.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm glad you mentioned that, because you said it was 154 plus 2 pounds.
Right.
People don't know that about a contract sometimes, because when they look at fighters' resume, they say, "Hey man, he fought it this way," but then for the championship fights, they're on weight.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that. Elaborate more on that. When how these and you too, Rick. When you get these contracts, how you have to look at it and just kind of make the best of a situation that you think might be against you.
Yeah. Well, like, as far as, so, like, for the championship fights, like, you got to be on weight. It's really like,
yes.
That's it. It is what it is. Just like in the Golden Gloves, they would allow you to be like 2 pounds over until the championship Golden Glove fight.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
There's no weight allowance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's kind of how they approach it. So like, if I'm fighting a welterweight fight, we could agree to fight, but we could be fighting at 150. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, not that it ain't that serious, but there's no belt involved, so we don't gotta worry about the sanctioning bodies. So, all right, a couple pounds, we don't gotta kill ourselves to lose the weight. Let's just make this fight happen, But like I said, as far as the belts are concerned, the sanctioning bodies are over it, so you got to be on that weight.
And if you don't tip that scale at that agreed upon weight per your contract, when championship rounds are involved, that they go into deducting percentages of your purse. Big money fight, they'll be like, oh, Pennington, he's 3 pounds over. They could take up to, they can say, hey, we're gonna take a $50,000 or $100,000 per pound that you're over. So if he getting 1.2 million, he come in 3 pounds heavy. They take 300,000 of that. Now he only got 900,000 coming to him, $1.2 million purse. So that there's a lot of different variants in boxing and how the boxing business go, opposed to a championship fight being booked and opposed to just a regular fight for the record of a win or a loss.
Yeah, right.
Difference in the weight. That's where management comes in with the fighter, and CP always comes to me if we know it ain't one of those type of fights. He'd be like, yeah, see if we can get a two or plus 3 up or over. You know what I mean?
Right. Because it's no belt. I mean, fuck it. It don't really matter.
He's 147. Okay, ask, can we come in 3 pounds over at 150? They can or they meet us at a happy medium and say, okay, 149, that's it, take it or leave it. And that's where you make your decision to sign on the dotted line.
Right.
Now you know what? I'm glad y'all seen that. This is why we do what we do here, Three Kings. And Rick, you know this. a lot of fans, when they don't hear what you guys are hearing, so they'll say, "Hey man, he pulled out the fight, he's scared." No, that's not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it is, because when you fight in the amateurs, you guys already fought for pride. You know what I'm saying? So you see this already in pride. You know, the fact that you're there to fight, it's other things behind the scenes, like you said. You know, we say, hey, we agree to this, and you're 5 pounds over the accumulated weight. If you can't get it off, then man, I got to make a decision if I want to put myself at a disadvantage getting in the ring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I give you a good example of that, man. David Reed. When I worked with David Reed, he was offered $3 million to fight Trinidad, the reigning killer at 154 back then. 10 years in, why did he have to take that fight so soon is beyond me. But nevertheless, they offered him a $3 million contract to fight Trinidad. And check this out. This is why fans so busy to judge you. A week before the fight, they came to David and said, hey, we can't give you that $3 million. We got 1.5 for you.
What?
I was like, dude, you can fight a mediocre fighter for 1.2 million all day. And
They
fight
told him that a
2
week
years
before the
later.
fight?
Week before the fight. And you know what? Dave took the fight anyway because he felt like it was going to be a big fight for him, which it was. He had a knockdown early in the fight and he didn't jump on it. But I'm talking about the money piece and how these things change, how these things are presented to you at the last minute. And he took the fight anyway. But his people got their check. 20% of $3 million. I saw a $600,000 check at 20% of $3 million. And I told him, I was like, dude, somebody got paid off of $3 million, but it wasn't you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
wow. Man, exactly, man, exactly, man.
Yeah,
that's a gem
rough.
right there, Rick.
Yeah,
that's a definite gem,
they
man.
screwed him big time, man. And that's real story. That's facts. That's no bullshit. That's real talk.
Damn.
Now you know
that sounds crazy.
It's crazy, but you know, interesting about that, my man, Mr. Kingpin, nickname, I like that name, Kingpin.
King of New York, baby.
Yeah, the Kingpin. What's interesting about that is that's a situation where you got a guy who's a young fighter. You are someone who's a business owner. So do you think being a business owner also helps you when you're navigating this situation that you're going through, boxing with contracts, fights, and so forth and so on?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely, because I'm also looking at it like I'm taking into context the eyes of the promoter. You know, I mean, me and Rick also talked about like doing business with some of these promoters.
Yeah.
You know, because coming in as a fighter, like it's kind of compared to a business. Like the fighter is the worker. The promoter is putting it all on the line, like the CEO of a business. You know what I'm saying? The promoter's putting the money on the line. Okay, so the promoter's money is at risk. It's on the fighters, the workers to put on a good show, sell tickets, and whatnot. So I look at it from both angles. So that's part of the advantage,
Now you said something I like. You said the fighters are the workers.
Yeah.
Do you believe, because the notion is today's fighters don't really have a lot of control, it's the promoters. Do you believe that? Do you believe the fighters have more of a say-so than fans are led to believe?
Hell no.
Elaborate on that, Penn, because I disagree, baby. I disagree, but elaborate. Let me hear you.
Listen. The fighters don't control shit, man. No. Okay, maybe, okay, all right, like the low, the 1%, the 1 to 3%, Errol Spence, Jamel Charlo, of course, Canelo Alvarez. Yeah.
Right.
They control their career because like they are the faces of boxing. Okay.
Gotcha.
Kind of like, LeBron James with the NBA. Okay.
Right.
But like, the rest of us, nah, man, we don't control nothing, man, because we don't got that skin in the game. We're not putting our money up. Okay. So yes, we are taking risk. This is our lives we putting on the line, right?
Right.
But you pay the cost to be the boss. Okay. You gotta understand that. So like
and to piggyback off of that, it's like, the fighters have a say so when it comes to like the bout agreements. Okay. 10 round, 12 round. Here's your purse. Here's what the weights needs to be. That's your negotiating realm right there, if you will. Not so much anything else, because like CP said, he fights. He know it. And I'm on the backside going over this with these damn promoters presenting it to him, and me and him scratching our heads like, "What the fuck, Rick? Damn,
Yeah, that's about it.
The deal." The fighters don't have shit to say about it other than what's offered to them in the agreement, the bout agreement sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And if you don't like it, fuck you. We get another fight.
We moving on. How many times they tell us that?
Yeah. No, that part, and it's funny, right? Because me and my man, the owner and editor of Three Kings Boxing, my man 2K, right? And shout out to everybody over there at Three King Boxing, all those, all the guys over there, all the senior writers that keep this machine going, man. We always say there's no money in boxing. Like the top up fighters, like you mentioned, the Earl Smiths, they're making money, right? But there's no real money in boxing like that, man. Because, like you just said, at your level, you really don't have much of a say-so.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the sport and you realize it's a hard road to get to that, just to get to the even part of the ladder on the pay scale. What keeps you going to do it, man?
I mean, well, it gets to kind of what I alluded to before, like seeing the challenge, being a Brooklyn fighter, seeing the challenge. I know what side I'm on, okay? I know what challenges there are. So let's brainstorm and see what we can do to have more control with the career, like having skin in the game, putting money up, okay, filling seats, seeing what promoters need, co-promoting, stuff like that.
There you go.
Maybe things that other fighters may not be worried about, okay, because like there is a huge business aspect to these fights, okay. The shit down south, I've seen a lot of fighters make good careers, and you don't even know their name, okay, but they pack in the house, they promoting the show, they fighting on the card, and pull out with a good 30,000 or something like that, on some show, fighting to nobody,
that's Biloxi, Mississippi, down in that area.
Right. I mean,
they got casinos up and down the block in Tunica.
Right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right, man. So let's talk about some of your opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about them, baby. You got some wins over some pretty good names. Right. And you got some fights. You fought Charles Conwell.
Yeah.
Again, that's one of those fights where the scorecard don't really tell you the tail of that fight. I thought you started coming on strong toward the tail end. It's almost like it took you a minute to kind of get going. I thought
it was a bit too late. I watched that fight kind of recently, dreading my performance, but yeah.
Now I'm glad to say I want to touch upon that, because honesty is a hard thing to find in fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel it's important? Like if you look at a fight and you get the loss, you go back and you look, you feel it's important to be honest about your performance. That way you can get better, because a lot of these guys will never admit that, I didn't lose that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. So that means that if you was to fight the motherfucker again, you would do the same thing and you would lose again.
There you go.
So yeah, you got to be honest with yourself first.
Right. All right. Then you fought Conwell. You fought a cat. I think his name was Eric Spring.
Yeah, Eric Spring. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another one of those surprising fights that you won. One fight you got to draw when you faced the cat by the name of Hispanic dude. Make sure you get his name. Macias. There you go. Jose Macias, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Jose Macias, right?
Right.
When you look at people automatically will look at a record and they assume, oh man, this dude is nobody, because they look at the record, right? Right? They just looking at the record. But you have some fights where you can arguably say some of those fights should have went your way. How do you maintain, you can't argue that with fans. They're going to think what they're going to think anyway, right? So how do you maintain that sanity, knowing that I should have got that win, but you know what? It is what it is.
I don't give a damn what the fans think. Right. I'm trying to make my way with the sanctioning bodies. I'm saying the powers that be that control boxing, and work our way up the ladder to the real money.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I say real money, I'm talking 6 figures, 75,000 and up, stuff like that. I mean, of course, I want millions, of course, but let's go for closer goals.
Yeah, sometimes goals. You got to be good with the hand you dealt.
yeah. Realistic goals right now, because I mean, I'm not like some hungry dude. As far as fiending for I make money. You know what I'm saying? I got businesses. I make money. But I see there's money to be made in boxing, and we're not far from it. From the real money.
All right, man. So at 32 years of age, the window of opportunity It's not as open as it used to be. How much more longer do you think you got in the game?
You know, man, after I ain't worried about that. Number one, I started late, so I don't have a lot of, wear and tear on my body.
My
Yes,
man.
sir.
You seen your boy, Bernard Hopkins do it to
Yeah.
past 50 years old. George Foreman. I
Yeah.
got time. How much time? Only time will tell. But I feel like I got some good years behind me. You know what I'm saying? At least five. At least.
All right,
You
yeah,
know.
because I was about to say I don't want you to be like Hopkins sliding out the ring talking about something I slipped. I was pushed out, man. I don't
Nah.
want that to happen to you, fam. Don't do that.
Nah, you gotta worry about that.
They
Ah,
Gotta worry about
ain't
that.
going out like that, bro.
all right, Red Bet. That's what's up, man. That's what's
And
up all day.
fighting, to go on a little further, the brain is the
There
most
you
important
go.
thing in
There you
boxing.
go.
All
That's what's
right,
up
so
right
like,
there.
that's why people like Bernard Hopkins was able to fight so long, even though like he fought against what's the Haitian dude, Pascal, right?
I
Yeah.
remember him.
Pascal was obviously younger, stronger, faster, but B Hop was able to willing to win, but with that spectacular boxing brain that he has.
That's
So
what's up, man. That's
he's
what's up,
one of my
man.
favorite fighters, by the way.
That's what's up. I've often said, I ain't gonna hold you on too long. I've often said boxing to me is like real life. You prepare
Hmm.
your body for the day to day. You get a good team around you as your support system. And
Hmm.
then it's you against whatever obstacles on the other side in front of you, right?
Right, right.
Boxing is just like real life to me. With that being said, man, knowing what the sport is like, knowing the trials and tribulation, even knowing the sneakiness of the sport,
Mm.
would you let one of your children be a fighter?
Ah, man, that was a question presented to me by almost all my family. I just
Just had his first newborn.
yeah, my first newborn.
Congrats, baby.
Thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
congratulations, family.
He's 3 weeks old today, right?
Right.
You
Looking
got
at
headgear on right now.
you know, you know, as hard as it is to get through with boxing, honestly, I wouldn't push him. I wouldn't push him to box. Like I won't be one of those guys to like throw him in the ring. But I'll teach him how to fight. If he wants to go on, he can do it. But I'm not gonna push him to do it.
Right.
And honestly, I'm leaning towards a no. Like I just
Against
don't
it.
want him to box.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I had a situation with my son one time, man. I saw him talking about some soccer. I said, "No, hold on, grab these boxing gloves. What's wrong with this
Uh,
boy? I got a legacy to protect over here."
I mean, you see it
Yeah,
all the time too. Like fathers want to live vicariously through their children,
yeah,
force them into doing something they don't want to do. If they don't have the passion for it, they're not really gonna excel at it. So what's the point anyway if they
yeah.
don't want to do it?
Well,
So
you know what, man? I'm
Right.
gonna tell you something, man. I teach my son how to box only because I think it's good for him. It helps him with discipline.
right,
Right.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I
That
want him to be
that
disciplined and I want him to know how to use them here. I don't want him to be no punk.
right,
Right.
You know what I'm
right, right.
saying? So
That
I
I totally agree with.
right. I definitely, man. I definitely be on my son about doing. I'll train him how to fight. Now, if he
Mhm.
want to get in the ring, that's on him. He's 10. He want to get in the
Okay.
ring, that's on him. But I'm definitely preparing him, training him how to fight, to harden his body and his mind for what he got to face out here in this world.
Right, right,
You know what
right.
I'm
Now
saying?
that's
So
yeah. That's
yeah,
first
that's
and
what's up,
foremost.
man.
That's
That's what's up.
important. Yeah.
All right, man. I got one question I want to ask both of you guys, man.
Hmm.
This seemed like such a happy moment right there.
Hmm.
Ah, what fight was this and what was going on? Because you like, yeah, I did it. And my man Rick got the pimp walk going on right there,
Uh
walking across, man. So
huh.
talk about that moment right there.
That was the Eric Sprigg fight out in Bethlehem, PA.
Bethlehem. Yeah.
Right.
I mean that was just the look right there. That was just we came out to do what we planned on doing,
Hmm.
and the plan was executed perfectly.
All right, man. One last question for the both of you guys, man. Uh, if you could change this one for you, I'm gonna go to Rick later. If you could change and go back, would you start fighting earlier in your career?
100%, 100%. You know, it is what it is. But I feel like with starting late, I took it more serious, of course.
Hmm.
But absolutely, if I started earlier, okay, with the culture of boxing in Brooklyn, sparring with all these great fighters. I would have had a much more extensive amateur career. More eyes would have been on me. I would have had much more backing, to start out with. But I ain't mad at it. It is what it is, and we still going forward. But yeah, absolutely,
All right,
definitely started early.
now without saying no names, was there every time, because you say you started late, when you walk in the gym, everybody started before you, so they looking at you like food. I ain't gonna say no name, but was there somebody that made the mistake of thinking you was food and found out differently in sparring?
Oh, a ton of motherfuckers. Story of my life. Story of my life.
That's what's up.
But they learned. They learned.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right, and Rick, I got a question for you, my man. If you can go back in time, wouldn't you change being born in the South Side and say, I want to be a real nigga, I want to be born on the West Side?
Fuck no.
No,
CBS Cavaliers for life.
No, I heard that. CBS, what's up, man? No, serious question, man. What's it like working with Pennington?
Ah, man, he's a CP, man. Is a joy to be around. The energy that he brings. He's a gentleman and a scholar first and foremost outside of that ring. So that says a whole lot about who he is when he gloves up. This dude is like so focused and so on point, and he's so humble, man. If he don't get the W, he coming out, he apologetic. I'm like, well, you ain't got to apologize shit. Motherfuckers don't understand. You got to respect every fighter that do this and lace them gloves up and get in that ring and put their life on the line each and every time. So he's an awesome guy, first and foremost. I love working for him, working with him. And man, I love to sign like 5 or 10 more Courtney Pennington, dude. He a real good dude. 100.
My man. Much
and,
love.
And last but not least, man, you got any fights coming up that you want to tell us about?
Well, we got some in the workings, but didn't sign no contracts just yet. But soon come.
Yeah. All right. And it's gonna be at 147, right?
Absolutely.
147. Yep.
Hey, that is a deep, rich. Historically, 147 is the workhorse of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They've been the work of the heavyweight division, of course, is brings in the big money, but 147 has always historically been the workhorse of the sport of boxing, man.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so that's what's it, man. Who's your favorite fighter, by the way? That's what I meant there. Who's your favorite fighter, man?
My favorite, man. It's hard to name just one, but I'll go one old school, Willie Pep.
Okay,
yep.
Yeah, that's old school right there.
Okay.
Yep.
And Andre Ward.
Oh, okay.
Andre Ward. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm not gonna ask Rick. I already know what he's gonna say. He's gonna say himself. Because I would say myself. I don't even ask.
Right. CP, my favorite fighter. Goddamn.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can follow you, and keep up with you on your social media, man.
I mean, Ring Maestro on Instagram, and my real name, Courtney Pennington, on Facebook, baby.
All right, man. And anything you got coming out, y'all, Brawler Sports Media and Three Kings Boxing, we're going to keep y'all abreast of what's going on with this young man's career, man. Definitely want to thank you for coming on, taking time out with us. Went a bit longer than what we thought, man, but hey, it happens like that when we start talking this sport of boxing, man.
Yes, sir.
You know how you say, I'm going here for a haircut. You didn't talk 30 minutes, ain't got your hair cut yet.
Right.
That's what happens, man.
Yeah.
Rick, I definitely want to thank you for making this happen, man. And
No
you know what I'm saying, being a part of Three Kings Boxing, always appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, but yes, keep this family, baby. Let's keep
All
it.
right,
Let's keep
no
it
doubt.
going.
Good meeting you too, Bo. Good meeting.
Oh yeah,
baby.
for sure. All right, everybody. Again, we said go to 3kingsboxing.com. Hey, and follow my man right here, my man Courtney Pennington, Kingpin at the social media outlets and Brawler Sports Media. Also pay attention to them. They be dropping they always at the fights, always doing them interviews. Big things coming, man, from sport of boxing for Three Kings Boxing, Brawler Sports Media. My man Courtney Pennington. Appreciate everybody, man.
All right,
we out.
Let's go, champ.
Brawlers, baby.